Chapter 8. After leaving the goblins and the deadwood behind, you spend days trudging through the forest, following the river at the edge of the mountains as they lead you south. There is far more walking involved in adventuring than I realized. Couldn't we have gone straight east? This is taking forever. Better around the mountains than over them. No risk of slipping and falling to your death down there. She's got you there. Ain't that right, elf boy? You stealing my nicknames now, Imtura? Tyrell gives you an ever-suffering look. It is best to wait for the path of Nefara. What's that? It's where Scholar Vash and I were heading after we visited the Temple of Alara, before the Shadow Corp showed up. Nefara is the god of judgment, and the path of Nefara is the best route between the lower forests and the hissing sands. Her path is meant to serve as a reminder that though you head towards the land of the dwarves, you still walk in the footsteps of the gods. It is also a warning not to let yourself be drawn in by the dwarves, for they do not worship the gods or the light. Your gods really don't like to be ignored, do they? The elder path of the Pantheon does tend to be a little more stringent with these sorts of things, at least within temple texts. The old gods don't matter to me. I respect the way you feel, Nia, Tyrell, but I can't believe. I cannot fault you for that, I suppose. You more than embody their ideals, Rain, and to be honest, I think that's far more important. That still doesn't explain the Watcher, though. He isn't mentioned in the temple canon. Nor in the annals of the elves. He said the old gods gave him the power, but it can't be as simple as he says. Nothing ever is. Just look at... Yes, me, I'm standing right here. See, I understand the appeal of the new gods, Alora, Xavius, and the like. You at least knew them right, Tyrell. How old do you think I am? What Mal means is that your family remembers the Great War and the new gods who fought in it. Yes, we do. Most of all, we remember the world unspoiled by the ravages of war. But now the Deadwood is healing. And look at the forest here, it's beautiful. And I'm starting to recognize some of the plants. We must be getting near Riverbend. Isn't that where you grew up? Me and Cade both. Do you see that? She points and you all turn to see the stone remnants of an ancient overgrown building just peeking through the trees. That must be the ruins of the Temple of Alara. So, now that brings back memories. The Temple of Light sounds like a good place to camp. Depends on if the booby traps are still there. Booby traps? It's a long story. As you all head in the direction of the table, Tyrell comes to an abrupt halt, gesturing for you all to do the same. There are voices ahead and music? Sneak closer. Without a word, you dart forward, ghosting between the trees and melting into the shadows as the music grows louder. Let's just see who we're dealing with. As you reach the clearing, you stop and peer around a tree. She used to drink at my place every night, you know. Even back then I could see greatness in her. Ha! Like there was any other places to drink in Riverbend. You can't help but grin. It forms as you call back to the others before stepping into the clearing. It's safe. Come on, guys. Rain? Interesting. Your friends join you as you take a look around the clearing, crowded with what must be half a village. Everything is decorated with lights, banners celebrating you. Look at that, Ranrat. They got your smile right and everything. I can't believe you come home. Did you hear about the celebration? The anniversary of your victory. Oh, goodness, that's today? Wait until I tell everyone you're here. The hero of Riverbend returned. I thought people called you the hero of Morella. So did I. Just like the city to ignore where their hero is actually from. That's royalty, always claiming others' successes as their own. He's not wrong. Suddenly, the happy buzz of the crowd comes to a screeching halt. The laughter turns to whispers as people squint and glare at Aaron. Rain, why is the traitor here? Are you parading him around as part of your victory? Actually, I'm working with him. Working with him? Yes, to save the world. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch a small smile creep onto Aaron's lips before he coughs and goes stoic again. A former traitor's work is never done. But you're here. That's what matters. There's plenty of food and drink for everyone. I like the sound of that. We were looking for a place to camp for the night. That reminds me, these are my friends, Mal, Imtura, Tyrrell, Nia. They all fought with me against the Dreadlord. We've heard so many tales of you. It's an honor. But where's Cade? He's not... No, Cade is fine. He's... serving as the king's archivist. The actual king? It's not nearly as impressive as it sounds. Does that mean he can come back and pay his bar tab? I'll let him know he still owes you money next time I see him. And what have you been up to? Rain? Haven't heard many tales of you since you defeated the Dreadlord. He's grinning at you without a care in the world, and you find your words caught in your throat as you think back on the last couple weeks and the year you lost. He has no idea the tears you face, the monsters that you tried to kill you, the ones that you will kill him and everyone you hold dear if you can't stop them. Oh, you know. Flashbang. Abruptly, you feel like you're back in the Shadow Realm, strapped to a table by thick metal bindings, immobile, bound, helpless, and alone. So helplessly alone. Bile fills your throat as you blink rapidly, trying to clear your horrific image from your mind. A slender hand ties into yours, and Tyrrell's voice is soft as he whispers in your ear. You're all right, Rain. I'm right here. You close your eyes for a moment, and when you reopen them, you're back outside the Temple of Elora, your heart still pounding in your chest. Nia glances at you and rushes to fill the silence. We've just been busy, that's all. I'm afraid none of us have done anything quite as flashy as defeating a legendary foe like the Dreadlord. Your eyes rise to the banners, grounding yourself by counting each one. It must have been an instant for everyone else, but for you, it felt like an eternity. You take a deep breath and pull yourself back to the present. I've been, dabbling in magic. You snap your fingers, and a flame the size of a small candle appears in your palm. You hold out your hand so your old friends can feel the heat. You let the fire flare and grow before closing your fist to snuff it out. See? Nothing to it. Well, isn't that something? To think someone with magic was living among us the whole time. Yep, but that's enough about me. How's Riverbend? Oh, well, thriving even. You won't believe the number of people who have come flooding in here because they'd heard about you. You should tell Rain about the stool. The stool? I don't see any harm in it. He charges tourists 10 times as much to sit on the hero of Riverbend's favorite stool. Well, you did sit on it. I like this guy. Anyway, you should go inside, check out the rest of the festivities. I'll make sure we set some tents aside for you and your friends. You guide your friends into the temple, shocked to see how different it looks. There's people gathered, more gathered than ever in Riverbend. I didn't realize how many people were in your hometown, Rain. Neither did I. You've got tourists. Every available space is strung with lights, decorations, stands filled with atrium offering sizzling food, ale, and games. No, this is more like it. No more offense to the goblins, but I've missed real ale. Get as many as you want. They appear to have a market as well. We should stock up on provisions before we leave. Aaron will help me. Must I? It's called being a team player, Aaron. We're working together, remember? Besides, I wouldn't put it past Imtora to take a swing at you after she's had a few. The roll of his eyes, Aaron goes off a tearful while you, Mal, and Nia walk deeper into the temple. They must have put up a great deal of time into fixing this place up. No kidding. Last time we were here, Earthrax and his hounds had half buried this place in rubble. They must have cleared it all out of traps, too. I don't miss those. And here I thought you were a master thief. That doesn't mean I want to sneak around a place where everything's trying to kill me, kid. At least I need it to be a new place. Some variety, you know. This is same old, same old. It feels... Yeah, it smells too. Homey, safe, creepy still. Homey. Could you imagine this last time we were here? I was mostly hoping these were baby adventures I'd stumble across, so we weren't going to get me killed. Mal! It's a nice way. I was hoping it in a nice way. It's lovely to see a Temple of Light transformed into something that brings happiness and joy to the people. Especially after wasting away for so many years. You know, this is where a whole journey started, in a way, where we became a group. It's true, if we hadn't come here, we would have never found out about the Shadow Court. And we would have never rescued Mal. Hey, that's not what happened. Isn't it? I remember it pretty clearly. You'd been captured by the Shadow Court. Strategically detained. And they were going to kill you. All part of my plan. And then we rescued you. You interrupted my devious double cross, so then I had to rescue you. To be fair, we rescued each other. Exactly. None of us could have done it on our own. We helped Mal. Mal helped us. I suppose, and I was in a tight spot. You all laugh as you push deeper into the temple, but you abruptly sober as you step into a familiar room. It was here... What was? Where I lost Cade. Rain. I know, I got him back, but he went through so much. Maybe if I'd been faster, smarter, if I'd stopped him from picking up the shard. He squeezes your shoulder, and Nia clasps your hand. I know how you feel. I keep thinking about Scholar Vash. I've learned so much, and the light in me is so much stronger. If I'd known then what I know now, I could have saved him. You can't think like that. Nia, you must still miss him. I do. Even after more than a year. I know he was my mentor, but he was the first real friend I ever had. You wrap your arm around her in a fierce hug, and she lets you hold her for a moment. He lives on in you, you know. I know. I honor him and his memory with the work I do now. But that's enough regrets and sadness for today. We're supposed to be celebrating. We'd better get back to the others, then. Don't want them to have all the fun. As you head back, you pass by a collapsed part of the temple where you spot a carved stone tablet nestled among the rubble. Is that a lore tablet with information about the old gods? But this is ancient Elven. Can you read it, Nia? Yes, we learned ancient Elven when we were very young in the temple, so we can study their stories of shared pantheon. But what's an ancient Elven relic doing in a human temple of light near a tiny town like Riverbend? I don't know. This looks older than even the temple's founding by over 3,000 years. I'm not sure Riverbend would have even existed. Could someone in the Elven Empire have gifted it to them later? The elves are so guarded about what they share with the rest of the world. I can't say how many times Scholar Vash petitioned to visit Undermount, but they always turned him away. Not all elves are forthcoming as sterile. Given how reluctant they were to even let us, and our very forthcoming guide into the city, I'm not surprised they don't lend out reading material. A relic like this would have been the most precious possession of this temple. It seems very strange to leave it behind. Probably means it's worth checking out. I know you don't believe in the old gods, Rain, but since the Watcher does, maybe it will give you some insight into him. Diamond choice. Level up. What will we pick? As I believe I said last time, we would pick something in the red, right? Because we have 2 in each other ones. We have alchemy or chains. I'm gonna go with alchemy. Wonder what that'll do. Let's find out. I want to read about Nefara. Nefara was the eldest and wisest of old gods. They all shared leadership, but the others often defer to her judgment. In times of confusion and chaos, she brought order. She encouraged the gods to set out about the laws of the world to create others to inhabit it. She gave the spark of life to the elves, hence why she is sometimes referred to as Mother of All in holy songs and texts. Her other titles include Justice, Order, Giver of Light. She is often associated with the sun and fire, and even though she now resides in El Hallas, all heat in our world begins and ends with her. Aranza, the elves' sacred meditation at the start and end of the day, always begins with the appeal to Nefara to bless them with the sound judgment and the will to do what is necessary. Itar and Bakshi. Itar and Bakshi, the lovers, are the gods most often referenced in the modern day. The tale of their courtship had inspired many epic poems and songs. Itar was made of earth, Bakshi was made of water. They could meet, but they could never be together, for the land and the sea were always separated. After a long time apart, Bakshi ran to Itar and embraced them, and together they created the rivers and lakes across the lands and islands scattered across the sea. They gave the elves Kill Valley, the emotional love, and Din Valley, a physical attraction, though it is said they shared both. They are often called the 2 souls that form one god. As such, an elven pairing that mixes Kilvali and Din Valley is seen as the height of hubris and a mockery for attempting to become like the gods themselves. Nithrax and Midias were twin brothers and sisters. They were great warriors, each fierce, courageous in their own right. Nithrax fought with steel, while Midias fought with magic. When they were young, they pledged to protect the world, and they would often duel to ensure that they were ready to face whatever challenge would come. Their bouts split the heavens, and after each battle, Midias would have to mend the sky, standing atop her brother's mighty shield so she could reach every corner. The lightning in her white hot thread, and the thunder and the clanking of his armor as he lifted her. Nithrax gave the elves their combat abilities. Midas granted them magic. Every elven blade, shield, and helm must be blessed in Nithrax's name before it can be used or worn, and one must seek Midias' blessing when casting spells. Legend even tells of an entire city's falling because they failed to seek the twin gods' favor. Mother of the Grey. Mother of the Grey's name has been lost to the stars, where she is now residing. While she valued all of creation, accepting everything in the world as it was. While she sometimes disagreed with the other 5 gods, this allowed them to create a better world for all. Shortly after the creation of the elves, she sacrificed herself to give them long lives so they could all see the beauties that the world had all to offer. It is this sacrifice that makes her as revered as Nefara, the true mother of all. Some suggest that the Mother of Grey is just another aspect of Nefara, meant to show how pure justice and duty demand that one must always be alone. Others suggest that our world had 2 mothers once, equally beautiful and deeply in love. These thoughts have been dismissed as heresy. The Mother of Grey asks for neither worship nor thanks. In fact, to address or even pay to her diminishes her legacy. As her name implies, she is always meant to be obscured. Nothing else. We have a tablet on the bottom now. Alright. As the 3 of you head back towards the festival, Mal hurries ahead and you fall into step beside Nia. Now that we're not in the Shadow Realm anymore, I thought we could talk about... I heard one of the villagers say they made fresh honey candy. I have to try some. Nia... Sorry, Rain, I'm just so excited. What was it you were saying? She grins at you, eyes sparkling. It's a stark contrast to how miserable she was when she first arrived in Whimsywood. We can't keep pretending that shadow transformation didn't happen, but she looks so happy right now. Nothing. It can wait. Returning to the temple's main chamber, you survey the festival booths as Tyrell and Aaron join you. Nefara is still perched at the bar, her arm around a rather confused-looking man.
That was a very personal question, and I don't think you should ask it in the future, but just this once, orc men give birth the same way human elf men do.
Okay. The man hiccups and blinks, and Tora gives him a merry slap on the back, nearly knocking him off his stool.
Think real hard, you'll figure it out.
I am not even gonna try. She bounds over to your party, leaving the man looking sullen and somewhat abashed.
What should we have first, food or alcohol?
Haven't you already had alcohol?
Doesn't mean we can't have more.
On the way to the table, you spot a vendor selling bright red sausages. Grinning, you buy a whole platter and thump it down on the table before your confused friends. I think, since we're so close to my village, you all should try one of our local delicacies. Saucy sausage. Saucy sausage. Okay. Doesn't it look delicious? It's never a good sign when you have to give your food a silly name. Aaron, don't be rude. For once, I'm in agreement with the prince. That does not look appetizing. You're that elf boy scared of commoner food. That is not... Tyrell, Mal, and Tora all scramble to grab a sausage. Nia takes one, and with some reluctance, so does Aaron. As they take a bite, their eyes go wide. That's... hot. My mouth feels like it's on fire.
You're all just a bunch of wimps, this ain't nothing.
But as she stops speaking, Tora breaks into a coughing fit, while Nia starts draining the nearest tankard of ale. Oh, did I not mention they're very spicy? Very funny, Rain. Now why don't you eat one? Please, Mel, I grew up eating these. You take a large bite from one of the sausages, and as you chew, the heat of it takes you off guard, making you sweat. Keep chewing. Frantically keep chewing, and make the spice fade, but keeping it in your mouth longer only increases the burn, until tears are leaking from your eyes. Rain, are you okay? Someone bit off more than they can chew. You give up and lunge for a tankard, throwing it back in one desperate gulp. Maybe a little hotter than I remembered. Your antics have attracted a crowd, a din rising from them as they clap and cheer. Let's hear a few words from the hero of Riverbend. Yes, speech! With a quick glance around the rest of your friends, you stand up and step forward, raising your voice to be heard by the gathered revelers. First off, it means a lot to me that you all put this together just to celebrate little old me. When I was a child with nothing and no one, Riverbend took me in. You treated me like one of your own. You are one of us. Not many places would have done that for a young orphan, but this place did. I used to dream of adventure, of seeing the world, of getting out of Riverbend, and you know what? I couldn't have done it without it all at all, if it hadn't started here. Riverbend is the best place in the entire world. I would know. I've seen all the others, and they can't compare. A deafening cheer rises from the crowd, and you spot more than one teary eye as you look around.
Oh, I can't believe it, she's really all grown up.
3 cheers for Rain. How about 3 cheers for all of you? You settle back down at your table, eating and drinking until your belly feels ready to burst. It's nice to be able to relax like this. Seems like it's been forever, doesn't it? You said it, Kit. That's the real problem with saving the world, not enough downtime. Well, we have some now, and I for one am going to enjoy myself. There were so many beautiful horses outside. I have to get a closer look. You're welcome to join me if you'd like, Rain. I heard there's some sort of maze at the back of the temple with a huge prize for making it to the end. I intend to win. I'm going to browse the merchant stalls for a bit. I thought I saw some interesting weapons and fireworks.
I'm headed for the pie eating contest.
There's a pie eating contest?
Of course there is. What kind of party doesn't have a pie eating contest?
Personally, I'd like to get away from the crowds for a bit. Maybe go visit the fortune teller's town. Take this opportunity to enjoy the festivities with your companions and spend an intimate moment with them, sharing a kiss and possibly more. Help. Please send help if they offer more than one. You find Nia outside, gently petting the neck of a beautiful golden horse. Who's the gorgeous, perfect girl? That's right, you are. I didn't know you liked horses so much. In truth, this is the closest I've ever been to one. I never would have known. She strokes the horse's golden mane and laughs when it nuzzles her face. They weren't allowed in the temple monastery, aside from the kitchen yard, and when Scholar Vosh and I traveled, it was mostly on foot. Though sometimes we flew on drakes. That sounds way more fun. If I could ride drakes everywhere, I would. I don't love heights, but something about the wind blowing through my hair made it feel... well, it was worth it. I felt free. There's a small basket of fruits and vegetables, all cut up into bite-sized pieces. You and Nia feed a few to the horse, who whines her appreciation. She really is a majestic animal. You can take her out for a ride if you like. A woman approaches with a smile, holding out a set of reins to you. You don't mind? Not at all. It's not every day the hero of Riverbend and her friends stop by for a visit. Well, we'll take really good care of her, I promise. You help Nia onto the horse and climb up in front of her. She wraps her arms around your waist, her chest pressed against your back. Ready? Absolutely. You urge the horse into motion. She takes off on a trot, quickly picking up speed. Here we go. Soon, you're galloping through the forest. The horse knows her way as well as you do, and easily find and follow all the old trails through the trees. It's an exhilarating ride, the speed threatening to steal your breath. Nia laughs behind you. Rich peals the ring out like bells. This is amazing. You squeeze the sides of the horse with your legs, loosening your grip on the reins. She springs forward, crashing through the underbrush. Nia squeals and tightens her arms around you, holding on for dear life. Don't let go. I won't. After a while, you stop to rest in a lovely meadow. You and Nia lounge in the lush green grass while the horse grazes nearby. I can't believe you got to grow up in such a beautiful place. So, you can see why I miss it. Rain... She sits up suddenly and turns you, her expression serious. What is it? Do you ever wonder what your life would be like if I hadn't found you in Riverbend that day? Do you ever wish I hadn't? Truly? Never. I don't regret a moment of my life since then. You don't? No. I always wanted to do something more exciting, to have a real adventure, and what an adventure it's been. There are parts of it I wish hadn't happened. Kate getting trapped in the Shadow Realm? That and you being possessed, and all the dangers we faced. But meeting all of you, I'd never want to change that. You gotta grasp her hand and squeeze it. Anyway, it's no use looking back, reminiscing, sure, but we can't change the past. We can only move forward, and to try and live the best life we can. I think we're well on our way. Her smile is infectious, and you find yourself grinning at her. Come here, Nia. Her smile turns shy and a little coy, but she scoots closer to you, her face flushing as you lean in close. Her lips meet yours, soft, yielding. Her hands frame your face, cradling as you deepen the kiss. It's sweet, careful, with a hint of something more. Rain. Kissing her again feels like coming home, like stumbling out of the cold and lying down by a roaring fire. Her hands slide down, exploring your body through your clothing as you continue to chart each other's mouths. The lurking heat inside you flares up at her touch, threatening to consume you both. I needed that. Then she falters, her eyes shining with tears. When you were gone... Her voice cracks and she tries again. When I lost you... You stop her by placing a finger on her lips, momentarily distracted by how soft they feel. That's in the past. Moving forward, remember? You're right, of course you are. We're all here. Everyone is, well, and we're working together like a team again. I'm just so glad you're back. She surges forward, her lips finding yours once more, and you slide your arms around her waist, pulling her into your lap. She tastes like sunshine and afternoon rain, calming, warm, and all you want is more. Rain. Break apart, her eyes sparkling with longing as she rests her forehead against yours. Nia, I want all of you. But someone could see. I don't care if you don't. Her cheeks somehow manage to flush even darker, but she answers by pressing her body against yours, her breath coming in heavy pants. You come together with more than a little desperation, your hands and lips saying what words can't quite capture. Too many clothes. I can help with that. The two of you make quick work of getting undressed. The grass tickles, but you stop caring when you feel her bare skin against yours. She presses her mouth to the center of your chest while her hands wander, mapping the contours of your back, your arms, hips. I want to make you feel good. You already are. She peppers soft kisses over every inch of your skin she can reach, sending a spark of electricity rushing through you with each and every one. What do you want, Rain? Let me take care of you. Oh, Rain, I'd love to. She beams at you, she reaches down and gently runs her finger along you. You want to watch her, but you fall back into the grass at the first hint of pressure she gives you. Nia. The heat in your belly rises, your toes curl as you arch up into her touch. Then she's above you, with a gorgeous smile still driving you wild with every brush of her fingers. I imagine it so many times, Rain, missing you, wanting you. I miss you too, Nia. She slides her hand just a little deeper between your legs, and you push her hips up to meet her, begging for more. She's blushing, but there's something just a little bit devilish behind her eyes as she starts to move faster. So I'm doing all right? You're doing... Oh, God, it's perfect. You clutch at her, dragging her down to meet you in a heated kiss that makes her gasp against your lips. While she's distracted, you reach down and run your fingers against her, making her thighs tremble. You hooked up with Nia at the festival. After you lie tangled together in the grass, her head tucked underneath yours. It's magical at her. So different from the city. Am I turning you into a country girl? I could be happy anywhere, as long as you're there with me. You stay curled up together for a bit longer before you help each other dress and round up the horse. We can make even more choices, so pretty much we can do all 5. You set off in search of Mtora and find her practically bouncing with anticipation near the long table set up for pie-eating contest. I don't think I've ever seen anyone this excited over a pie.
What are you talking about, Landrat? It's pie. How can you not be excited about pie?
What kind of pie do they even have in Flotilla?
We're really big on kelp and fish pies, being on the ocean and all, but the few fruit pies we have, or make, aren't nearly as good as what you've got here.
The secret is cooking the fruit down before you put in the crust. If Fancy and Max are making the pies this year, you're in for a treat.
It's not just the pies I'm excited about, though. You know I can never resist a good competition. But I like that this one has no stakes, no looming danger, or ancient evil here. Even if I lose, I still get to eat a delicious pie, right?
And if you win, you get bragging rights and a delicious pie.
So, what do you say, Rain? Think you can beat me?
I think I'll destroy you.
Big words, but can you back 'em up?
I guess we'll find out. You settle in your seats, and warm, fragrant fruit pies are placed in front of you. The rules are simple. The first one to finish all their pie wins. And go! You dig into your pie, devouring it as quickly as you can, only to see that you're being outpaced by Mtora and the other contestants. Start a food fight. Put my hand on Mtora's thigh. You slip one hand under the table and trace your fingers up her leg until you can rest a distracting hand on her thigh.
What?
You give her an innocent look and polish off another bite of pie just as you slide your hand higher.
You're trouble, Rain.
You, me?
Always.
As you finish off the last of your pie, you toss the empty tin down on the table just before Mtora does the same. And we have our winner! I won.
What about the other contestants? Damn, Rat, you don't mess around.
Congratulations, your prize is a certificate for 1 free pie of your choosing. You take the small slip of paper from the woman, and as she walks away, the two of you burst into laughter.
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind finding someplace to rest and let all the pie settle.
I hear one of those tents calling your names. The tent you find is full of blankets and pillows, and the two of you drop down onto the floor, stretching out.
Oh, this is the life.
You mean you don't like sleeping on a rock-hard ground every night?
Depends on who's sleeping next to me.
She winks at you, and you roll your eyes, giving her shoulder a shove. The two of you drift into silence, but when you hear Nefara let out a loud sigh, you turn and find her plucking nervously at a blanket. Hey, is everything okay?
It's just, you don't think less of me, do you? Because I thought you were dead.
What are you talking about?
No one else gave up. They kept searching, but I didn't. I don't want you to think I'm weak or that I stopped caring.
Nefara, you were right.
What?
I mean, not correct, obviously, since I'm still alive, but it's not like you had any reason to believe that. You were trying to move forward, and I would never fault you for that.
Even though no one else gave up?
No conditions, no hard feelings. She sags against the pillow, sighing hard with relief.
Good. I mean, I would hate to think that you couldn't trust me anymore because of it.
Nefara, I trust you completely. Your eyes meet hers, and you stare at each other for a moment before she abruptly throws her arms around you, pulling you close. She's smiling as her mouth meets yours, and you melt against her. Even after being in the woods for so long, she still smells like salt and the sea. Passion surges as you deepen the kiss, heat spreading through your body, and Nefara's hand tightening on your hips. You lick her lower lip tusks and then tug at her lip ring until she moans softly in your mouth. When she pulls away, her cheeks are flushed. Gods, I miss this. Instead of answering, she crashes her lips against yours, and you crawl into her lap so you can press even closer. She drops her hands to your hips as she takes every inch of your mouth, and you clutch her shoulders, feeling the muscles flexing beneath her clothing.
Something tells me you don't want to take a nap anymore.
I want to take advantage of the privacy. With a grin, she peppers you with open mouth, with kisses, scattering them across your cheeks, mouth, throat. Each one ignites your simmering desire, making you want more. You tug at her coat, trying to push it off her shoulders as you duck your head to drag your teeth over her collarbone before soothing the spot with a gentle lick.
Someone's eager.
You have no idea. Together you shed your clothing, toss them to the side in desperation, grasp and stroke each other's bare skin. You feel along her biceps, down her forearms, while your mouth maps out the planes of her stomach, making her groan. You are so gorgeous. She grips the back of your neck and drags you up into another kiss, claiming your mouth with a ferocity that leaves you breathless. You slip your hand between her thighs and growl when she bites at your neck and responds.
Not yet. My turn first.
She eases you back on the pillows and leans down to trace the curves of your breast with her tongue before placing a tender kiss to your quivering stomach. Heat suffuses your body, and you arch beneath her, aching for her touch as she worships your chest with her mouth. Nefara. She nips at the inside of your hip with her tusks, dragging them over the skin there, and you feel yourself practically throb in response. You reach down to cup her face in your hands, drawing her attention, and when she looks up at you, her eyes are blurry with lust. I can't wait any longer.
Neither can I. Not after all this time.
Be rough. She clambers on top of you, pressing you down into the pillow so hard a soft flurry of feather puffs up from one of them. You can't help but gasp as you feel the weight of her, keeping you pinned to the ground. Oh. Grinning down at you, she slots her knee between your legs, giving you a hint of the friction you crave. With your body trapping through, all you can do is look from chiseled muscles into her arms to soft curves of her chest, tinged dark green from exertion.
You like that, huh?
but her desire for you quickly wins out. Her hand shoots between your thighs as she... Yup. Pretty much we hooked up with her. And everything got handsy, kind of like with Nan. Drained and happy, you collapse onto the pillows, still wrapped in each other's arms.
Wasn't sure I'd ever get to hold you again like this. Glad I was wrong.
So am I. You stay holding each other for some time, dozing, and you haven't had the heart to wake her when you finally pull away and dress. Let's change things up a little, shall we? You head to the fortune teller's tent where you find Aaron, hovering awkwardly outside trying to look busy. Were you waiting for me? No, I just, He clears his throat. I didn't want you raising an alarm, thinking I'd run off again. Sure. You pull back the curtain of the fortune teller's tent and step inside, Aaron following after. Oh, what an honor it is to know the hero of Riverbend seeks my meager skills. Actually, he's the one who wants his fortune told. The prince wishes to know his future. Former prince, and yes. Well, then let's see what the spirits have to say. Sit. Aaron takes a seat across from the fortune teller, who reaches out to grasp his left hand. She turns it over, and her brow furrows. Oh my, you've led a life of great conflict and tragedy. Well, this is hardly a revelation. Hush, let her work. I see betrayal in your past, deep regret. You carry it still, a weight you cannot put down. He casts a hesitant glance at you as the fortune teller reaches for his other hand and traces her fingers along his palm. Let me guess, my future's dark and full of terror. Only you decide that. I see a looming decision before you. You will soon come to a crossroads, young man. I see how the choice eats at your soul. If you wish to escape the cycle of pain you're trapped in, you must follow your heart. Aaron seems uncomfortable as he pulls his hand back, but laughs it off. So, dark and full of terror, got it. That fortune was hopeful. You're gonna have to explain this one to me. She says you're coming to a crossroads, right? And the choice you will make will decide your fate. That means your future isn't set. You get to control what happens from here. Indeed. Nothing in the future is certain until we make it so. Aaron glances at you, and for the barest moment, something like hope flashes in his eyes. Fortune teller sets a crystal ball in the corner, or the center of the table, and waves to you. What about you, great hero? Would you like to hear what the future holds? Of course she does. If I suffer through this, so must you. If I must. Aaron stands, and you let him prod you into the abandoned chair. The fortune teller waves her hands over the crystal ball. Maybe she has a bit of magic, because you swear you see a flicker of light deep within its depths. Ah, your future is shrouded from prying eyes. Perhaps a power greater than mine wishes to protect itself. How convenient. I see glimpses, an amulet, eyes that burn, loss and love, a terrifying beast. I can't tell if that's good or bad. Both, I see both. You will find a friend in an unlikely person in an unlikely place. Suddenly the fortune teller grasps your hand, pulling you close. But know this, hero, you are being deceived. You pull back startled, but the fortune teller shakes herself, just like she's unsure what just happened. After a moment, she gives you a bright smile. I hope you find some small enjoyment from my skills. Yeah, thank you. Sure, we'll go with that. You pay the fortune teller for her time and lead Aaron from the tent, wandering through the festival. Do you believe what she said about your future? I believe we see what we want in it. I suppose that it's its purpose, isn't it? To make us twist everything we know until we find something that fits. Or to say things so obvious that they have to come true. You will find a friend, an unlikely person in an unlikely place. That could be anyone. It could even be you. Am I a friend, then? I'd say so. You're part of our group, after all. Oh, that's surprisingly nice. You walk Aaron back to the tent and set aside for him, but rather than go inside, he hovers there, shifting uncomfortably between his feet. Was there something else you wanted to do? Actually, I wondered if you might like to come inside and stay for a while if you wanted, with me. I think I'd like that. I didn't get an option in this. You step inside the tent, most of the space taken up by a large bed. Aaron takes a seat on the edge and you sit down beside him. So, what's on your mind? You are. Me. Does that make you nervous? It probably should, but no. He turns to face you, his gaze intent, but unreadable. You've been kinder than I expected, but I know there's no way to earn your forgiveness. Not after everything I did. For what it's worth, I have been trying to do better. After everything that's happened, I need to know, do you trust me, Rain? It's a tough one, dude. I'm trying. It's just hard. I mean, I trust him, but at the same time, I don't. I wish that we could start over. Me too, but we can. You did what you did. But you're on the right path. Every day you're here, helping us is a day closer to me trusting you. Silence falls, fraught and tense. Aaron hesitantly reaches out to touch your cheek. He sways closer. You suddenly know that he's going to kiss you. You close the distance between you in a rush, claiming his mouth with your own. Ugh, I didn't get an option in this one. Had I known this. I know there's some people that ship him, but I don't. It starts tentative, a kiss of exploration, wonder, as neither of you really believes this is happening. You lean in and close as you can. When your body brushes his, a shudder racks him. His hands fly to the back of your neck, pulling you closer as he tilts his head and licks his way deeper into your mouth, sparking pleasure deep within you as he kisses you with a desperate hunger. God, you're... Groan with the words before kissing you again, deeper and rougher, as if the pain and tragedy have torn away the civilized prince you first met, leaving jagged edges only you can smooth. When you finally break apart, you're both breathless, your lips sting from the pressure of the kiss, and your head spins. That was... His cheeks suddenly darker, and coloring his face to red. He looks away as though embarrassed. You put your hands on his, drawing his attention back to you. It was nice, really nice. Or maybe, needed. You sit in silence for a moment, but when he speaks next, his words surprise you. Have you thought about it? What the fortune teller said to you? Do you think the ones who deceiving you is me? Tell me it isn't. Everything I have said to you since we met again in White Tower has been the truth, right? Then I don't see how it could be. What about you? The fortune teller said you had a choice to make. Do you know what she meant? Maybe. Aaron reaches to touch your cheek again, his eyes full of longing and some other emotion you can't quite name. Not quite sorrow or regret. But you have a choice to make first. I want you, Rain. It's always been you, it's only you. I know words can be hollow, so let me show you what you mean to me. Why don't we just lay together? Uh-oh. Have you never cuddled with anyone? Not really, no. You explore the festival with Aaron. Well, then let me show you. You nudge him back on the bed, wrapping your arms around his waist as you settle onto the pillows. After a moment, Aaron relaxes, curling up close to you. You stay like that for some time, listening to each other's breathing until you get up reluctantly. I'm gonna go head back to the festival, but I'll see you in the morning. Go. Have your fun, and sleep well, Rain. You can feel his gaze on you as you slip out of the tent and back into the festivities. I mean, I get it, it was Aaron, but at the same time, at least we learned the fortune teller thing, right? As you make your way to the vendors and their stalls, you find Tyrrell watching a group of children run around with lit sparklers and small, colorful fireworks. Rain, I was just marveling over these incendiary devices. Do they not have fireworks in Undermount? Not like this, no. It amazes me that such wonders can be created without magic. It's just chemistry and black powder. A much better use for it than the cannons on them tourist ship. Unless you're being chased by drop drawers. One of the children sets off a firework that spirals up into the air and then explodes in the shape of a heart. What do you say? Want to give it a try? You take a firework from the stall and hold it out, only to snatch it back when Tyrell prepares to ignite the end with magic. No magic, we're doing this all natural. If you insist. Tyrell takes a flint from you, using the sparks of it to light the fuse of the firework. The tube shoots up in the air and explodes into a colorful shower of sparks that begin to fall and fade. Without magic, how would I do this? Raises his hand in the air, and falling sparks ignite once more, moving together in a bright ball of fire. Quickly, what would you like most to see? I'd like to see... Under the sea, under the ocean. Fire-breathing dragon. How appropriate. The sparks twirl through the air, forming a roaring dragon that exhales fire and thunders through the temple. For you are as fierce as any dragon. Wow. The children jump and cheers, the image fizzles out, even Tyrell can't help but smile. That was amazing. A faint blush darkens his cheeks and he clears his throat, turning back to the rest of the market. There are many other vendors here to see, shall we? You wander through the stalls, browsing the other wares until you come to one displaying weapons and various trinkets. Some of these blades are beautiful. Few places in the world could boast such craftsmanship. Riverbend is full of surprises. An intricate spherical puzzle box catches your eye. That's just a dagger with polished wooden handle and etching on the blade. I'll look at the puzzle for once. You lift the puzzle box from the table and fiddle with the movable pieces. Each one has what looks like a part of a rune engraved on it. Huh, I wonder. You line two of the small pieces to form a complete rune. It seems like this, like to open this, you need these runes to spell out a particular phrase. That's a pretty good security system. You replace the item and turn to Tyrell. I know this is the first time here, but there's a lot more of the temple to explore. I wouldn't mind finding someplace a bit quieter, without as many people. You lead Tyrell to a more intricate part of the temple, not occupied by the festival, where stained glass still fills the windows. You mean to comment on their beauty, but when you turn to face him, he looks lost in thought. Is everything okay? I was just thinking, how strange this must be for you. When you disappeared last year, we fell apart without you there to lead us. Myself included. He takes a deep breath. No, myself especially. Place a comforting hand on his shoulder and he reaches up, covering it with his own. But for you, it's as if no time has passed. It's that odd as I imagined. You know, a little. To tell the truth, I try not to think about it too much. I lost a year. It happened. All I can do is move on. I'm so sorry. Don't be. It's not your fault. And I'm doing okay. Better than okay when I'm with you. He acknowledges your words with a nod and then smiles. Now, I find, or I've told you, elven fireworks are different from yours. Would you like to see some? I'd love to. He lifts his hands, magic swirls from his palms, and joins together a wild ball of color floating through the air in front of you. Wow. You touch it lightly, the orb pops like a soap bubble, and the colored lights scatter and dance across your skin, rippling like water in a pond before they float up and hang in the air. You watch them with awe, but when you look back at Tyrell, you find him staring at you, his eyes soft with affection. You are more lovely than words can ever describe. He touches your face first, stroking your skin with the pad of his thumb, like he's trying to memorize the feel of it. He leans in, kisses you, and it's like it's the calm in the middle of a storm, keeping you safe. Tyrell. He exposes your mouth with confidence that sends shivers up your spine, only for his hands to chase the shivers away with her warmth. You hold each other close, every part of you yearning for every part of him. When he pulls away, it's just a whisper against your lips. Whatever you would have me, I would give it to you. I want...
Why not?
He seizes your mouth again, his fingers already sliding around the neck to draw you in. His nails skim down your back and even over your clothing. You leave a fiery trail in their wake, pulling in your belly. More patience. You work quickly to get each other out of your clothing, touching and teasing as you go. Let out a moan when you finally feel his bare skin against yours. He kisses your throat and jaw as he bears you down to the ground. I have seen the world, Rain, and there is no sight more beautiful than you. He slides his hand between your thighs, stroking over your sensitive skin as he trails kisses across your chest. You run your hand down his back, clutching him to you as jolts of pleasure course through your body. He leans over to capture your mouth in a desperate kiss, his hair cascading down around you, shutting out the rest of the world. Every touch leaves you aching with need, and you can't help but rock against his hand, chasing the feeling. I missed you so much. You tug at his hair as pleasure sweeps over you. Licking your skin like fire, he drives you right to the edge, but before you can topple over, he pulls his hand away. I need more. As I said, whatever you would have of me. His voice hitches with desire. He's telling you the truth. He wants you with his whole being in every way. Take me. As you wish. He plants gentle, quick kisses along your cheeks and nose as his fingers trail down your body, urging you down onto the stone. When his hand dips between your legs, teasing over your heated skin as he whispers in your ears, voice deep and powerful like the ocean. I dreamt of all the things I'd do to you when you returned. I had to have faith. There was no joy, no hope in the thought of life without you, without this. Without... His warmth washes over you as he presses his body to yours, the complete and beautiful answer you could imagine. He begins to move and you cling to him, like he's the only thing anchoring you to reality. The lights of Tyrrell's magic still glisten all around you, sparking bright as you lose yourself in him. Tyrrell holds you close and traces his fingers in soothing patterns over your skin. You place a soft kiss to his chest as you smile at him. Looks like we made some fireworks of our own. Indeed, and ours are far more better than any black powder or magic could ever be. I couldn't agree more. You lay with your head pillowed on his chest for some time before you get dressed and return to the festival. Last but not least, Mal. You find... She's had a wild and crazy night, don't you think? You find Mal outside the entrance to the maze. He's staring at the entrance, tilting his head and eyeing it critically. Pretty sure you have to go into the maze to solve it. If I'd, done that, how would you ever find me? He clasps his hand together, then indicates the maze with a flourish. Big news, no one has completed it yet, which means that prize is still up for grabs. Then we'd better get moving. The two of you head deeper into the temple, creeping through the twisting path where rubble and stone have been cleared. Suddenly Mal holds up a hand, stopping you from taking another step. Hang on, there's a tripwire here. Please tell me they didn't miss removing some of the traps in this place. Only one way to find out. He motions for you to get down. Once you've knelt on the stone floor, he reaches out and tugs on the thin metal line. Arrows fly from the recessed spots above you, then rain down around you, where their padded tips bounce harmlessly off your heads. Okay, I have to admit, that's kinda cute. Well, these are the kind of traps I could get behind. The next wire you find releases a vicious monster, his paws upraised to strike, or rather release a wooden board painted with the images of a vicious monster. You and Mal laugh until you're doubled over, clutching your sides. Oh, I'm definitely taking this. What would you ever use it for? Just imagine Tyrrell or the princeling waking up with this thing hanging above their beds. It's the perfect prank. Where would you even hide it? I have my methods. Mal. Alright, fine. You always spoil my fun. You find one more trap and a pressure plate, and as you're just about to intentionally set it off, Mal pulls you back. Wait a second, kid. He gestures above where a net full of colorful confetti and glitter waits to be unleashed. On second thought, maybe we leave this one here for someone else to trigger. Stepping carefully over the pressure plate, you carry on, slowly making your way towards the heart of the maze. You know, they used to have a festival like this in White Tower. Celebrating me? He rolls his eyes. It was for some old noble. That part didn't matter. It was just one of the only times that I felt like I got to be an actual kid. They had a maze outside. One time I got lost in it for hours. How did you get out? Did you innate sense of direction kick in? I climbed up on a wall so I could see the whole maze. So, to find my way out. Oh, so you got smart. Exactly. Sometimes the only way to win is to play by your own rules. Too bad everyone else doesn't play by our rules. We don't need them. It'll just be us two thieves in a pod. You round a corner to find the center of a maze, a small chest sitting on a pedestal. Well, we made it. Bring on the treasure. Mal makes quick work of the latch and opens the lid, only to find a small slip of paper inside. Maybe it's the deed to a mansion or a castle. You unfold the paper and read its contents aloud. Congratulations on reaching the heart of the maze. We hope you enjoyed your journey, and that you will cherish the memories you made along the way. This is the real treasure after all, isn't it? What? Well, that's adorable. We seriously need to have a serious chat about your priorities, Kit. You can't tell me you didn't have fun getting here. That's completely beside the point. You put on your best wise old woman impression. It's not the destination, but the journey. And just because we found the treasure doesn't mean there aren't still more memories we can make here. He turns to look at you, one eyebrow arched, and you lean in close. He grins. I like where this is headed. You tilt your head to his, your lips meet softly, filling you with a sense of comfort as you deepen the kiss. The woody scent of him floods your senses as his hands roam over your body, each touch increasing the heat between you. Rain, I'm right here. You cling to one another as the softness gives way to need. You catch his lower lip between your teeth, making him suck in the breath. He pulls back, holding your face in his hands as he stares at you, his eyes full of affection but tinged with sorrow. When you vanished, Mal... No, I need to say this. When you were taken, I almost lost it. I just wasn't the same man without you. I'm not the same man. Losing you changed me. Change isn't always bad, Mal. I'm now back. Maybe you can change again. I hope so. He gently strokes your cheek with the back of his hand, and the way he looks at you makes your heart pound in your chest. It's still hard to believe you're really here. Well, let me prove it to you. All you have to do is keep touching me like that. You got away with words, Rain. He groans and holds you closer, giving your hips as his lips skate across your jaw and down to your throat. You thread your fingers through his much shorter hair as he licks over the soft skin at your wrist and then drags his teeth over the same spot. You have no idea how bad I want you. You pull him back into a feverish kiss, all desperation and desire, and when you finally break apart, you're both panting for breath. Say it again. I want you. He tugs at your clothing, exploring every newly exposed inch of skin with his hands and lips until you're finally bare before him. You don't even notice the chill of the chamber, his mouth leaving a blaze hot across your chest. Again. I want you, Mal. You brush your hand over the front of his pants, and he lets out a low growl. You helping out of his clothes, struggling to undo his buckles and belts and haste. The moment he's undressed, Mal drops to his knees, grinning up at you. You gasp as he puts his mouth on you. Your hips buck forward, desperate for more. Every brush of his tongue sends you reeling, your knees buckling beneath you, but Mal holds you up, even as he continues teasing you with his mouth. Well, that escalated quickly. You hooked up with Mal. The cold stone feels heavenly against your skin as your high fades. You turn to find Mal, grinning at you. Now this is a memory I'm gonna treasure for a very long time. That might be the cheesiest thing you've ever said. What can I say? The maze brought it out. The two of you burst into laughter. You stay cuddled together for some time before getting dressed and returning to the festival. There's no other diamond choices now, thank God. The next morning, you gather outside the Temple of Alara with your friends, getting ready to set off.
Okay, maybe I drank a few too many ales. My head is pounding.
It's hard to stop when they're free. Has anyone seen Aaron? Startled, you look around and realize he hasn't joined you. In fact, you haven't seen him at all this morning. Your heart gives a pained lurch. Is this about last night? I bet he's sleeping in. I'll go check his tent. She hurries off, but within minutes she returns, her expression serious. It was empty. She holds out a folded piece of paper with your name written on the outside. It shakes slightly in her hand, betraying her own nervousness. I found this on his bed. With everyone watching you, you open the letter and skim the neatly written words. Dear Rain, I apologize for leaving so abruptly, especially without saying goodbye. I know you have questions. First off, last night meant everything to me. It was something I desperately longed for and never thought I would have. I never thought I would be worthy of someone like you, because I'm not. I have a great deal to ponder. The actions of my past, my future, what I was and what I wish to be now. How to become worthy. And as much as I wish I could continue on with you, I'm afraid that until I figure this out, I would be in your way. I know if anyone can beat the Ash Empire and save the realm, it's you, but once I've learned who I'm meant to be, if for any reason you do wind up needing my help, I'll always be there for you, Rain. Always. Aaron. He's gone. The stab of betrayal will twist tighter when you remember last night. The promises he whispered against your skin. The lies.
That bastard.
I would find him and drag him back by the scruff of his neck. Let him run. He always knows how to disappear on us when we need him anyway. Rain, what do you want to do? He needs time. You think back over every conversation you've had with him since you reunited, the sorrow, regret in his eyes, the hesitancy in his words. He's been through a lot in the last year. It makes sense that he needs some time to think. He said he wanted to redeem himself, but maybe he's just now realizing what that means and how much work it'll take. It looks as if he's already made his choice. He says he'll come back if we need him. I'll believe that when I see it. He took the time to write this letter, and there's no reason for him to lie. The fallen prince. Aaron has left your party. Down to 5. Forcing yourself to stop thinking of it, you take a moment to look over your and companions' packs. Now, we've got a long road ahead. Do we have everything we need to make it to Zeradun? Zeradun is in a desert, so we'll need... I would say lighter clothing and lots of water, but we'll go on the water. The last thing we want is to have the world end because we died of thirst. That's morbid. It's true, though. Part of good adventuring is being prepared, isn't it? You learn well, kid. Fine. All water. If that's everything, then let's get moving. I think we're already wearing pretty light clothing for the most part. You trek for days, leaving behind the familiar forests of your home, finally making your way to the desert, which, despite your preparations, still takes you by surprise. It's so hot. I'm cooking in my armor over here. Well, you are wearing black. Blacks always look good, even when you're dying of heat stroke.
Unnatural place, if you ask me. I didn't want to live this far from water.
Rain, you're sure the Watcher said the dwarves were here still? That it's not, mythical? This is where he told me to go. He trudged stubbornly along, legs aching, until you finally crest a massive dune that should give you a view of the whole landscape. This can't be right.
I promise I know how to read a map.
A long expanse of sand and rubble stretches out before you, broken only by a smattering of dilapidated stone ruins. But where's the city? It's gone. Right from the hinge of the earth. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description. Plenty of things to check out there. Ways to become a part of the community, even more so than, just watching the content. And then plenty of ways to help support this channel and community as well. With that being said, wow, this was a really long episode. So, if you got to the end, leave a comment down below, especially letting me know that you did, in fact, reach the end. Aside from that, let me know what you thought. Yeah, and if you happen to have any questions or whatnot, drop them down below as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.